Okay, blessings, rays of love, Soulliaa right here. I had some audio things happening, and so I was unable to. Okay, so boom. I just put the new link out there. We're back. Hopefully, everything is everything now. Again, I am Soulliaa Ray. Blessings, rays of love. Welcome in. I hope those that were looking at the last one on I put it on Threads and I also put it on Instagram. Prayerfully, it cross posts to Facebook. Y'all, this internet thing, I'm working it out. I'm getting better at it day by day, moment by moment. My days ahead will be better than those that have been. Welcome again to the Munch Hour. I am going to Texas, right? So I'm an LCSW in Texas, and then I'm a licensed independent social worker in the state of Iowa, right? So I am licensed in 2 states to practice mental health therapy, and I'm so grateful that this is a work that I get to do simultaneously with creating and making music, which is catharsis, healing for me. So today I'm really talking about group therapy. What is group therapy? Group therapy is one of my favorite types of therapy, y'all, and this is why. So many times we don't go to therapy, whatever, because of the stigmatization around therapy and what folks will think, and will our community stop supporting us if we're in this, or what will happen if we admit that there's something wrong that we can't quite put words to or doesn't feel so tangible to other people, right? All this stigma around it. Group therapy, in my opinion, acts really as really great exposure, right, to that fear, and kind of destigmatizes the process of healing in the container of community. So group therapy typically, when I have led groups, have been 3 to about 10 to 12 people. This season, groups are only 12 people, right? That's all I can do. I don't have a co-facilitator this season. Clinicians co-facilitate. Let's talk about it. If you're on here, I'm open. I'm down, right? Let's talk about it. But I'm not having a co-facilitator, so we're max 12 group members, and really groups are a safe place to not only do the work that we're doing individually, maybe in a self-development kind of text, a life coach kind of text, right? This independent kind of work that we're doing. Hello, welcome. Hey, Javier, welcome. We're talking about group therapy today. I'm just giving more background about what group therapy is, right? For folks that don't necessarily know. Welcome, Chance. And so, again, it gives you this safe place with other people, a group of people that are also on a healing journey too. So, group is a place for people that are, again, doing that own self development kind of work, and want to now practice essentially what they've been working on independently in a group kind of context. And what I really appreciate about groups, me as the clinician, I am similar in my individual sessions. I definitely tell my clients this all the time, that they are the experts. But in the group members are the experts, right? Group members hold each other accountable. Group members reflect things that other people are doing, right? Or they identify who is projecting, who is not, right? There is a level of tension and conflict that happens in group therapy that allows healing and your healing journey really to be accelerated, because you're able to in real time practice the therapeutic skills that maybe you're working on in your individual self-development context, or within a therapeutic alliance with a clinician that you've been working with, right? And so this fall, I am offering a variety of group therapy groups. Really, it's like 3 main ones, and then we have some alternating, like virtual options for those folks that are not in person in Houston, Texas. So all my in person groups are in Houston, mid-city. So that means if you're all across the greater Houston area, it's still pretty accessible. It's about 30 minutes from all the suburbs, major suburbs. But we're having an in-person group for K through 12 educators, teachers, and support staffs. We're welcoming administrators as well, but really wanting to provide a self-care space for educators this season, right? Our educational landscape is so challenging. There are so many nuances. There are so many things that are different about this new generation of scholars that create a lot of stress and strain that we don't address throughout the school year because we're just trying to power through it, right? That I just came out of working in education for a long time. And so I know how it is and how it gets. And so that is happening on Thursday evenings, beginning October 16th. We have two women's groups. One is an in-person women's group and one is a virtual women's group. Again, the in-person women's groups are happening in Houston, Texas. So you have to be able to get to Houston, Texas to attend the in-person groups. And then the virtual groups are happening for Texas and Iowa residents. Hey. I don't have any thoughts on that, Lamont. We're talking about group therapy today, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, I invite you into that conversation this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you're at in the world. So again, offering two women's groups, one virtually for Iowa and Texas residents all over both states, and then one in-person in Texas, in Houston. The in-person sessions will happen on Thursdays. Again, all in-person groups are happening on Thursdays, and then the virtual session is actually happening on Saturday. So if you're a professional woman and maybe making a Monday through Friday kind of thing, work is kind of challenging, there is a virtual women's group for you, even if you can make it to the in-person women's group because you live in Houston, but the Saturday works better for you. Join us online as well. All groups, again, are 3 to 12 people maximum. And right now there is space in all of them if this is something that you're interested in, okay? So in addition to the women's group, in addition to the K through 12 educators group, we're also going to have two groups about healing trauma from childhood specifically. So both of those groups are called Grounding the Inner Child, and really in those groups, it's going to be a skill-based self-regulation kind of group. So a lot of times we carry the maladaptive ways that we cope or the harmful ways that we cope with stuff. We carry a lot of our relational patterns that we have with friends, family members, partners, right? We carry those things from childhood into adulthood, and really we carry them because our social emotional growth, when we've experienced hard things in our youth, in our adolescence, we kind of get stuck in our social emotional development right there. And so this group is really trying to expose those areas maybe that we have been stunted in our social emotional growth and development from childhood stemming kinds of things, uprooting those things so that we can get different strategies to cope and deal with our mental emotional kinds of things that come up for us on a day-to-day basis as we're walking through life. So those are the main groups that we're having, right? Again, so it's really 3 groups, but it's an in-person and virtual kind of group offering. We're really focusing on K through 12 educators. We're focusing on women, and then also focusing on for anyone that is on their healing their inner child journey or healing trauma from parental wounds or any of those different kinds of things. The Grounding the Inner Child group would be for you, right? These groups are happening over a course of 8 weeks beginning in October. So October literally is tomorrow. It's right around the corner. And so if this is something that you're interested in, we really are about a week and a half away from registration for those things closing. So if it's something that you're interested in, I really encourage you to visit me everywhere at Soulraez, Soulraez. If you add a .com, you can go directly to my website and see how you can directly register for a spot in those groups. And if you have more questions for me, you're welcome to go again to my website, Soulraez, SOULRAEZ.com. Shoot me a contact information page, and I would gladly get back with you, or some of my administrative support folks can get back with you too if I'm not available. But again, group therapy, in my opinion, is a perfect way to destigmatize mental health therapy support, to build community, and to really accelerate the healing journey, because you're getting an opportunity to practice exactly what you're learning, skill wise, coping wise, right? What you're learning about yourself and your own patterns, you're really able to apply it kind of immediately in the group, because in my experience in the group, baby, when we get comfortable with one another, when we're really together in it, it's really a space of loving correction. It's really a space of deep compassion and deep gratitude for one another that's holding the space. It really becomes another place of a chosen family that is committed to seeing you be the best version of yourself. And so I do recommend group for folks that are ready for that kind of accelerated work. And I'm not saying it's easy by any means. I'm not saying you're not going to feel some type of way after leaving. I'm not saying any of those things won't be true, right? Because it might be true for you. But just to participate in the process and really see how much growth and development you can have over really 8 weeks is such a short period of time, over this short period of time, if you're dedicated and committed to the process. So that was my spiel on group therapy. I wanted to be intentional about going live on here. I know on my channel I haven't been so active as much, right? Coming out of doing the Welcome Home show, into just traveling and doing different things for the ministry and the church that I'm a part of, and getting some therapy things running group, right? I've been in a lot of different places, but I want to be intentional about doing it on here and then sharing it to my social media platforms. So if you want more of me on a consistent basis, find me on Instagram at Soulraez. I've spelled it multiple times. Hopefully you caught it. And I just hope that you have a good day and you will take some steps towards whatever thing you need to heal from. Maybe it looks like going without something. Maybe it looks like going to something you've been running from, right? Whatever the case may be, I'm hopeful today that you will be intentional about being a better version of yourself than you were just 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to enjoy my lunch. I hope you're enjoying yours.